What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday in transit edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Veteran Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedic, go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. On Fire Athletes, the platform powered by Gamecoin. What up, y'all? Good morning. Yeah, so a little bit of a late start today. Wendell Norman, Trivia Carter, Brad mentioned the late start. Yeah, so glad to have everybody here. Thanks for being there. Heading down to New Orleans, not doing TV today, but actually jetting down to New Orleans because I'm going to have lunch with David Locke of the Locked On Podcast Network, his namesake, of course. So really cool. For those that don't know, of course, I host Locked On LSU. Well, David Locke is the radio play-by-play voice for the Utah Jazz. And the way the Locked On Podcast Network started was David started a daily jazz podcast. So we called it Locked On Jazz. And subsequently, he recruited hosts to join the network to do a daily NBA podcast for all the NBA teams, and then subsequently all the MLB teams, NFL, NHL, college, and so on. And they've grown it into the largest sports podcasting network in the country, maybe in the world, quite honestly. It's incredibly impressive. But so I've known David since 2018 when he first recruited me to do Locked on LSU, but we've never met. So I've talked to David countless times over the last 7 years, but I've never met him. So anyway, David is in town in New Orleans because the Jazz played the Pelicans Friday night, and they play again on Monday. So the Jazz they're not leaving, they're staying in town. So the Jazz played Friday, they're staying here Saturday, Sunday, playing Monday, and getting out of town Monday after the game. So David texted me, he's like, hey, if you're around, I got nothing to do this weekend. Would love to say hello. So I'm like, let's do it. So I'm going to pop down, and actually I believe Ross Jackson, who not only writes for us at LouisianaSports.net, but also hosts Locked On Saints, and Jake Madison of Locked On Pelicans. I believe we're all meeting to go have lunch. So everyone was invited. I think everybody's confirmed. So all meeting down in New Orleans to go have lunch and say hello. Make some introductions. So excited about that. So that's why I'm a little late. I did not record Locked On last night to publish this morning. I recorded it this morning. So that's why instead of doing Morning Scone from the office, I did at home. I did Locked On this morning. So now we'll do Morning Scone on the drive. Red light. Thomas, Brad. Why did the Saints waste time interviewing Darren? There's no way he's getting the job right. Talking about Darren Rizzi, I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for all of those guys that get the opportunity to interview for head coaching opportunities. Number one, to go through the process. Number two, puts their name out there even further and makes it more likely he'll get a job somewhere else down the line. Cartel Bo, Kelly Gross, Christian, Randall, ready for the fight in Jay Johnson's. Yeah, man. Hey, Dad, good morning. Milton, good morning. Guy, good morning. Another red light. Got some red lights this morning. Go Joe. Thomas, Shabbat Shalom. No jingle gate during transition days. Yes. Leon, good morning. Wish I was going to New Orleans. Beautiful day, man. I tell you, I love going to the city and going out in New Orleans on beautiful days, man. There's a life and a vibrance in New Orleans, I think, during the day when you can walk around the CBD or the Quarter, and there's so much history and culture in New Orleans that I think really is on display. It's when night falls in New Orleans that it's just dangerous, man. Even the tragedy from New Year's notwithstanding, But I love going out. I love being in New Orleans during the day. Toki Doki, what's going on? Straub Skills. Like the shirt choice for your blind date. By the way, this shirt is from the brand Snaps. Shout out. Those are they're pearl snaps. I don't know if you can tell. So it's not buttons. They're pearl snaps. Hence the name. And I told T-Bob that he and Aaron should do a deal with Snaps because of their show, Snaps. Okay, y'all. So we're hitting the interstate right now, so I'm obviously not going to be looking down at the phone while I'm driving. But a couple things on the docket. A couple of NFL playoff games today. Love the divisional round. Chiefs hosting the Texans. Commanders at Lions tonight. Both are pretty sizable lines. I think Chiefs-Texans is 8.5. Commanders, Lions 9.5. The home teams, the 1 seeds, are prohibitive favorites and should win these games. And should do so handily, but we'll see how it goes. I actually do like the Commanders and the points in that game. I think it's a pretty sharp play as well. I think I'd probably side with the under. The under with Kansas City at Houston, but I do think Kansas City wins the game. I think the better games are probably Sunday. We'll see. I think the Packers actually have a good shot of going to Philly and winning, especially if Jalen Hurts is still not 100%. I think that's a really I think that could be a really competitive game and maybe an upset alert game. And I actually think both games on Sunday, you could have teams on upset alert. Baltimore is actually a slight point and a half favorite at Buffalo, but I think tomorrow that game could be awesome. So yeah, someone mentioned they're ready. I think it might have been Randall, ready for the fight, Jay Johnson. So that actually is today's Locked On. We begin our baseball preview. We started on AFR yesterday with Terrio. Started with the infield. So we went infield yesterday. That's actually today's Locked On, is a little extensive version of the infield preview. Tomorrow, or next week, we'll look at outfield and then the pitching staff, and then it's the opener. So we're inside of 4 weeks now. Yesterday was 4 weeks from the opener for LSU baseball against Purdue Fort Wayne. So I'm excited for it. It should be a great season. I will be curious, especially on that opening weekend, to see a couple things. The changes on the infield, notably, no Tommy White, Milam moving to short, Braswell moving to third, Dickinson, the Utah Valley transfer, who's the number 2 transfer in the whole country, according to Baseball America. There's some. It's really it's going to be interesting to watch that. Obviously, Bear Jones, 28 homers a year ago. Now he comes back. No Tommy White, so no protection in the lineup. Is he able to perform offensively the way he did a year ago, hitting .301 with 28 bombs? Behind the dish, Cade Arambidi and Blaze Priest are going to get to go. Arambidi was a guy that was thought to be a surefire lock to sign out of high school. Had a slight injury, saw his his performance his senior year of high school dip, and so he slid in some draft boards, and as a result ends up on campus. So we got Aaron Beatty, and then Priester, who was a guy coming out of Live Oak. Everyone, by his own admission, he was ready to go start his pro career. Slid a little in the draft, showed up at LSU's campus in 22, but didn't play. Ended up instead going the JUCO route. Plays a couple of seasons at JUCO. Last year, in a limited season, hit 14 homers. I think he hit 14 homers in 30 games or something like that, or 26 games. It was crazy. So big bat for Priester. probably a better all-around player as of now there in Beatty with a high ceiling. So that'll be a really fun one to watch how the catching battle plays out there with those two guys. You got some other newcomers as well. Luis Hernandez transferred in from Indiana State. He could be a catcher, corner infielder. And we'll talk more about the outfielders and all that stuff next week as we move along through it. So, hey, Joseph, good morning from 32,000 feet. All right, watching in the air. What are we doing? All right, there's a cop over there. That doesn't mean you have to go 60. Like, we're on the interstate. You don't have to go to 60. I get it. There's a cop. Move you behind over. Dork. God. Putting along 60 miles an hour on the interstate. Hey, David. Good morning. Ronnie. Spurge. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Cliff. Good morning. Reason for 2 baseball players lead. Yeah, so so the roster, they were too heavy on the roster, and so they had to, well, actually they were 3. And so Trevor Schmidt was one of the guys that left. Trent Lape was the other. And then, remember, Devin Sheeran was the righty from Mount St. Mary's. They brought him via the portal. He tore his ACL over the summer. So he won't count against he'll redshirt. He won't count against the roster this year. So that's why. They just had to get their roster numbers down within compliance for the season. So Schmidt was a guy that Jay recruited to Arizona but never coached at Arizona because Jay took the LSU job. So Schmidt played a year at Arizona, then went to Fullerton College, not Cal State Fullerton College, where he played the last couple of years. And everyone thought Bear Jones was going to be gone. And so Schmidt was going to be a corner infielder, either replacing Jones or White, big bat. And Jones came back. And they're moving Braswell to third. And they got Hernandez as well from Indiana State. So I think for Schmidt, in his final season, he looked and was like, well, let me just go back from whence I came so I know I'll be on the field and play instead of, sitting at LSU. So it made sense. Ready to see McMahon smack the Aggies tonight? I hope so. LSU did win at Reed Arena last year. It was the SEC opener. They beat them by 15. LSU won at A&M by 15. So 11.5-point dogs tonight for LSU at Texas A&M. Not sure I have a tremendous amount of confidence in LSU going to win this game. But if you look at your next 3, at A&M, at Alabama, home against Auburn, I mean, this is the one that's the most gettable because LSU never has success at Coleman Coliseum, and you ain't beating Auburn. So I would think go play your best game. This is probably the one you have, the best opportunity you have to get one of these. So anyway, Jeff, good morning. Micah Hudson to LSU. I have not, I could ask. I have not heard Micah Hudson to LSU. That's the Texas Tech receiver, correct? Who hit the portal? Did he sign with A&M? Am I missing something? The last that I was told was after the safety target, who I learned was from Penn State, decided to stay at Penn State, not enter the portal, that LSU was done for this cycle. Now, they could certainly snag someone out of the spring portal window, depending on, because you will have a whole new wave of players after spring practice go into the transfer portal. So could LSU find an offensive tackle or another safety? Maybe, but excuse me. Short of that, I think they're gone. They're done. So, all right, y'all. Oh, okay. Sign with A&M, enter the portal again. It's interesting. I don't know how you can enter the portal if the portal's already closed. But then again, I did see the story. What was it? It was a player that transferred, just bypassed the portal. He just transferred to a new school, which I guess you could do. The NCAA actually ruled that that is allowed. So, no worries. It's a big truck pulling a trailer, hanging out in the left lane. No worries, dude. You're good. Just hang out in the left lane all day. Friggin' 18-wheeler rig in the left lane. Log jam of cars behind him. No worries. Just slowing down traffic. We're all at your pace today, friend. Blessings upon you and yours. Human condition, bro. I swear. People. Human people. Human people. Please, man. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Beautiful, 72 and sunny right now. Who'd have thought that by Tuesday it's going to be snowing here? Wild. Big shout out, Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parrish Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. You need a roof, call Parrish. Remember, Brock After Hours Clinic is open. If you need an orthopedist here on this Saturday, you can always just pop in. Walk-ins welcome. And Parrish, rained again last night. Found out you have a roof leak or any issues with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Unique Physique and Restored Motions, of course, Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide, weight loss shots. Learn more, lowest prices, never any contracts. Ship your medicine anywhere in the country. And you do the whole thing over telemed, so you don't have to go in an office if you don't want to. Make it super convenient. And of course, On Fire Athletes, the platform powered by GameCoin. Okay, y'all. I'll probably bounce here and pop on down, go have some lunch, and then drive on back, watch some NFL today. Look forward to it. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for being there.